What up, people? This is Nas with Mass, Middle Age Still Single. If you like the content, hate, like, subscribe, but mostly subscribe. We appreciate the views. Keep following. Peace.
Middle Age Still Single, the podcast is back. We have all the guys here, and we have a young lady, Portia, who is here today. Our topic is older men, younger women. All right. And Portia, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
In general?
In general, yeah.
In general. I'm 35 years old. I have a regular working job. Graduated from college. Got my master's right after that. Went into the dating scene. Got into one major, I would say one serious relationship. And then after that, just dated around. And lately, found myself in a serious relationship with an older guy. So,
okay.
Portia, what did you used to tell me?
The dating pool is shallow.
I
told Nasir that a lot. I said the dating pool is shallow, and I was young then. I was like early 20s, and I told him that.
Yep.
Yeah.
24, 25.
If you think it's shallow for an attractive 20-something-year-old young lady, just think about what it's like for middle-aged men like us.
Oh,
not even a puddle. Women. Not even a puddle in it. All right. So sure. You are in a serious relationship. So tell us a little bit about him. Now he is an older gentleman. How old is he?
Yes, he is 70. He's in his 70s.
He is in his 70s. Okay, you are 35. This is very different. Okay, so what?
Yeah, look at he gonna put up the wine. he his little drink. Look at it. He's like, I got a shot.
The joke there, Portia, is that I'm the old man of the group, so I mean I had to drink to that.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 55.
Okay, see, like.
Yeah, way too young.
Damn,
that's too young for her. Yeah.
No. Okay, so let me say, like, I've always dated older. Most girls always date older, I guess, unless you're dating someone. We're talking about high school now in your grade, right? So in high school, I dated a year older than me, right? So by the time I got out of college and grad school, I dated usually probably 8 to 10 years older than me. That was just natural. And now it's like being of a certain age, you always want to date equally yoked, right? So now I've seen that age range that gap has gotten wider.
Because the younger guys are not where you are in terms of what you're trying to accomplish in life, or intellectually, emotionally,
all of that at the same time, and at the same time not saying all guys, right? So this is what I learned. So I went to a predominantly white institution for college. This is what we are not taught in our culture. So my junior year, girls were coming back with engagement rings, right? So I'm just like, whoa, like we have to graduate first. You need to get a job next. And it wasn't like, they're not taught the same thing. So, and I went to a rich, predominantly white institution. So it was like junior year, they're not engaged to another junior or a senior at the same school. They're engaged to a grad student, right? So then you're setting the course for something. So it's like, with me wanting to date Black men, either they're already scooped up because they're with that person that they're going to get married to that first or final time in college. And then by the time you enter the working scene, it's a totally different playing field because everybody's not the same age. So that's what kind of, I think I would say what happened to me.
Portia, how'd you meet your guy?
At the gym. So I was going to the gym. This is pre-pandemic.
It's okay. We're not judging. We're
I
not
go to the
judging.
gym every day, and I'm an early bird. So every morning, he would just wave to me, and I was like, okay, whatever. I thought he was just being friendly, and he just got persistent.
He was.
really, yeah.
That's how us old people work it.
Right.
We're hoping for a little bit of sympathy.
I'm just being friendly.
They work the long game. The old guys work the long game.
The long game. So all the waving turned into a hey, how you doing? And then it turned into a conversation. And I saw it because at the waving point, I told my mom, I said, this old man at the gym keep hitting on me. Her response was, you don't need no young dude.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was going
Kudos
to
to
be
her.
a question of mine.
Yeah.
Was there, if your family had any difficulty or reserve of you dating an older man, did they have a problem with it? Apparently, it seems like your mom didn't have a problem with it, right?
No, nobody did. And Nasira will tell you this. I'm an old lady at heart. Like,
Yeah. She's an
so
old soul.
everybody was
man.
like, oh, okay, whatever. At first, it was like, okay. And then it was like, that makes sense. That's exactly what one of my mentors told me, because she's in her late 60s. And so when I told her about him, she was like, well, how old is he? And I said, he's about your age. She looked away, and then she looked back at me, and she said, that makes sense. That makes sense for you.
Right. If they look at everything that you're doing in your life, that person would be at a place where he could come along with you. You know what I mean? Or he's either ahead of you, or he can come along.
And I looked at that too, because these days people are weird, and so you have to be very, very careful. And so when he gave me his name, well, he asked me for my name. I gave him my first name only. I said, what's your name? He gave me his full name, and so I went and looked that up. And so just being careful, because it's a lot of weirdos. And so what came up was, like, I saw enough to be like, okay, he has something to lose.
Right.
Now, what attracted him? What attracted you to him initially?
When I first saw him, like I said, I thought he was just being like a nice old guy. Like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, okay. I said, oh, he's a good looking older guy. Like, that's what I just initially thought. Like, he's a good looking older guy. He takes care of himself. He looks well. He's in the gym. He's peppy. Like, like it was just seeing all of that.
Which wave? Was it the first wave? The second wave?
He told me.
Which
he
wave
told me,
got?
he said, I waved at you for about a month before you even looked. And I was like, I thought you were literally being friendly.
Okay. Yeah. Could you show us that wave? Because we want to reproduce that.
No, we know.
Yeah, we want to mimic that.
So
she's like, nah.
Even now, I tell him, I'm like, hey, keep your hand down. Like, what you doing? Keep your hand down. Like, I was waving. No.
Okay. So in America, there's always a taboo about younger women, older guys. So it's like everybody frown upon it. Is there like difficulties or challenges that you can see between you two communication? Is there any advice you can give to people like Rob, going after younger women? Is there like any difficult time or any challenges that you're going through that you might want to advise Rob on? Communication wise or anything.
Well, and another thing is, like, we're like on the same wave as far as like
wavelength,
our attitudes in life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So there's not really much of a disjunction, and there's more learning from each other. Like, he knows that I'm much younger, so it's like I'm telling him like what's going on in the world on the younger side of the tip, and he's telling me like how history kind of repeats itself and like the stuff that he's seen and like the attitudes of people and all that kind of stuff. So we really don't have much, I would say, dysfunction in that area. And like I said, I'm really an old soul. Like, my friends will tell you, it's like they're out like, hey, let's go out, this, and that. And I'm like, all right, I'm bringing my own car. I ain't riding with nobody because I'm leaving at
Mhm.
9:30. It's dark
Yeah.
outside. I think it would be a big difference if I was like party girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so that
If you weren't on your
right,
purpose,
right, and he's
Portia's on
really
her
encouraging.
purpose. So that's,
He's really, really encouraging.
yeah.
Like, I can say he's a sense of peace for me, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Okay.
It
Wow.
does.
That younger women need to really hear that, because that's something that older guys, typically we do, because we are more settled. We're not going to get into our feminine energy if there's some type of disagreement, right? And older guys are kind of like more laid back, like, I don't know why you
Because
shaking
he'll
your
tell
head.
me, he'll be like, whoa, settle down now, settle down. And all I can do is laugh because, like Nasir just said, it's like that laid back. He's already established, so there's no, there's no
Right.
angst. There's no like, been there, did that, done that. Calm down, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Right.
try my best
Absolutely.
to fall into that. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, this
he
is going
was
to be
excited
good for the audience, man.
after getting to know you that you had completed a couple of degrees and that you are focused. And then, of course, through that, he learned about your character and your old soul, and through that. But the waves are like, oh, that's an attractive woman, and she smiles. So I'll just, we see her every day, that kind of thing. But when he started talking to you, I'm sure that's when it really clicked on. Like, hey, this is a really special woman, 35, 2 degrees, and understands the peace of just going through life without drama.
I would say the first, he had talked me into a date because he kept coming to me with conversation, and I would talk to him at the gym. Fine. He was like, well, let's go out to eat, or da da da. He kept saying that, and I would just not respond. So one day we were leaving the gym. He was like, let's go to Starbucks right now. Right now. Like, you can follow me to Starbucks. It's right there. And I was like, He's like, come on. Like, it's right there. We ain't gonna do nothing but talk. I said, okay. And during that talk, he literally was like, after conversation, he was like, well, I guess we can be good friends for about 2 years or so. So I just bust out laughing. And I said, sir, you already gave me an expiration date? Because, like, see, in my mind, I'm like, in my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm just like, I haven't even agreed to anything. You know what I mean? And he was just like, we could be great friends for a couple of years, literally 2 years. And I was like, where the heck did that come from?
Because he was thinking it was all you gonna give him.
In his relationships, after, he's a widower. So in his relationships after that, in this new dating time frame, that's what it was. It was like 2 years, and then a person's going to show their face and flip out on you. So
right.
How long you guys been together?
Right.
2 years.
Look, 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5. It'll be 3.
So you
towards
made it past the expiration date, huh?
I made it past the expiration date. I told him that. I said, and then he said, oh, wait. You just turned 35. He was like, yeah, I might have to reconsider that.
Getting too old for him? Is that the deal?
I think that's what he was hinting.
So, Portia, listen. So you're 35 and he's in his 70s. Like, where do you see the relationship going? What's the future for you guys?
I'm gonna be with him as long as I can be with him.
And he's completely supportive of everything you do and everything you desire and everything you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it.
I mean, like I said, I'm simple. Like, I'm trying to get myself prepared for retirement, which he throws that in my face, because he's already retired. But
Portia been retired since she was
That's
30.
been my goal. My goal has always been retire at 40. Like, if you're not retired at 40, be able to retire yourself at 40 if somebody pisses you off.
Yeah. Yeah. Be in a position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, we got some women out here that really needs to hear this from Portia. Because see, if Portia was ugly and fat, these girls wouldn't even listen to her. Right? Because they have to see a woman that's worth a guy wanting. Like, they know she can do whatever she wants, but this is her choice, right? So women and men need to see, like, guys our age need to see that. Shoot your shot, bro. Don't be stupid. Have your shit together, but then shoot your shot and be a gentleman about it. And you could possibly end up in a relationship with a younger woman who's got her stuff together.
And that's really what it is, because like I said, he had to have enough confidence, number one, to come and approach me.
Right.
And it sounds like persistence as well.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Persistence overcomes resistance, man. Persistence
That's
overcomes
right.
resistance for sure.
They teach all men that in the second grade.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And then, like Nasir was saying, like, I'm in a slightly different position, like, as far as, like, I don't have kids. I don't want to have kids. I have nieces and nephews, and my goal is to help take care of them and help bring them into the next generation, you know, better than my generation had. And so with my friends, it's like their agenda is marriage and kids and building that, you know, lasting nuclear family or whatever. So with me even pushing them to go with older guys, because now the dating pool is, I remember in the 90s, right? Where y'all be like, I have to be really cautious of the baby mama drama.
That ain't just the 90s.
Right?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2010s, or whatever you want to call this, it's flipped. My friends, women my age now, that have their stuff together, it's like, when you get with these men, they have all these different kids. And we don't have any kids. So it's like, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's something that also middle-aged men bring to the table, is because a lot of times, like me, my money outlasted my kids. Like, I got to a place where when my kids became adults, now I'm at a place now where I keep all my money, right? But I don't have little kids running around. So if I were to date a young woman who didn't want children, a lot of middle-aged men are like that. Like, none of us here are bogged down with children. Nemo has the youngest kid, but the rest of us are without that kind of issue. But it is something, I'm glad you brought it up, because it is something that women should really consider when they think about the possibility of dating an older guy. That's one thing that they probably wouldn't have to worry about.
Well, in this case, I think this is a special case, though, because, I mean, she doesn't want to have kids. Naturally, a lot of women want kids to complete that family. Like, personally, if I'm with a woman and I'm with her for a couple of years and there's no kid around, I just feel like there's something missing. The kid, when you come home, get out of there, stop that. That's a good, for me, that's an experience that you have to have. With her, it's just a special occasion.
What? Wait a minute. You want unruly kids?
No,
that's an experience
that's not what I took away from that. Because he lives in Missouri, I thought it would be more like, hey, run to the fridge, grab me a beer.
No.
Yeah.
No, but she's just unique in a sense where she doesn't want kids. Everything just kind of worked out perfectly with this gentleman. A lot of time, 80% of women is gonna want that kid, and then they're gonna have an issue. She's 35, the guy's 70. They want to, they want to reproduce, and that's so. This is just a special occasion, in my opinion. You're not gonna get this all the time.
But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be, because what Portia is bringing to the table is the idea that there are young women out there her age that are and can be open to meeting middle-aged men, right? She and she just said there's a lot of women there. Yeah, she does have friends that want children, but the possibility of a middle-aged man dating a younger woman is possible. I think that's what I'm taking.
And then,
from
like,
this.
in our situation, because he said it one day we were watching TV, and he was like, "There's not too many people in our situation with the age gap difference or whatever." And it just so happened, like, maybe like a couple of weeks before that, I was watching, I think it's Cocktails with Queens or something like that, with Vivica Fox and Selena Johnson, and it's just this little show, and they were talking about Lionel Richie. It was Lionel Richie's birthday. Lionel Richie is like 74 or something like that. And they brought up his girlfriend. His girlfriend is like 31. And so I was like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's not just like it is a phenomenon, but it's not a lone wolf.
It's not as unique as it might seem.
It's far more common in the celebrity status and the uber wealthy, right, that you see in the media. It's not as common under the radar, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it takes two lives that actually intermingle. He, at 70, whatever, he probably does not want children. You don't. If you did, you would either not have made a relationship out of it, or he would have said, yeah, what the hell? I could be Clint Eastwood and have kids until I'm 80. Right? So it works for you.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's the thing about situations aligning. Situations are really important. And Portia shot right past middle age, girl.
I dated somebody middle age when I was in my mid-20s.
Okay. All right. Listen, Portia, thank you for spending some time with us today and telling your story.
Good to see you, Portia.
I thoroughly enjoyed you. You're different than all the other women. It's nice to meet all these brand new people from different parts of the country and doing different things. I appreciate you spending the time with us. Gentlemen, you guys got any more questions for Portia before we let her go?
No, gracias. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
Much appreciated for your time.
Thank you, Portia.
All right, Portia.
Appreciate
thank you very much.